All right, here we go again. All right, check this out. All right, cool hand live stream. Something you got to deal with. Let's try this again. First live stream had important information right here. My little idea whiteboard, and my next moves are just a bunch of stuff that shouldn't be on camera. But check this out. We're gonna do this real quick because I just got off of work, and uh, what we finna do is talk about some things um, that I've been meaning to talk about. Now, first of all, I'm about to go to the gym in about in less than an hour. So we're going to get straight to it. J. Cole dropped some type of song, but I'm going to be ranting a little bit. We're going to keep it respectful. This is going to be a safe space for most, but it might get a little uncomfortable for others. The same way it gets uncomfortable for me sometimes when I see some of the things that I see and I'm not really having it. You know what I'm saying? So, first of all, I want to get some stuff off my chest about some of this uh Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick stuff and Metro Boomin and Future. Now I feel like I'm gonna sound like an old person or your mother or father or just the old head when they say none of these folks is paying my bills. And like when I see all this stuff, and I have to remember, like I'm still young, but like I was in my early 20s at some point. I was woo woo woo. But like, why pick a side? What unless you actually hate the other artist, because I am a hater. I hate on certain artists. If you know me, you know who I hate on. But if why pick a side like between Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole? Because Kendrick threw some lightweight shots at Cole for one. Like they were extremely lightweight. Like when I say lightweight, like all he said was, forget all that big three stuff that Cole was talking about. It's just me. You know what I'm saying? All the shots really went to Drake. But like is this like this isn't no beef. This ain't nothing serious. This ain't none of that. And like it's just interesting how you see things on the internet and like, people are, in a sense going crazy about these beefs. Oh, Kendrick, woo woo woo. Now what he did do was bring some excitement to the game. That's what I'll give Kendrick. He brought some real excitement to the game, got people talking, got people, all, throwing their hands up, woo woo woo. But when I see like and I feel like sometimes I can take things more seriously than they should be. But when I see like when I see lies begin to start to be told like online and certain reaches and all this other stuff, like it kind of just gets under my skin. It's like, are y'all serious? But like, I don't know. I told someone maybe a couple weeks ago. He asked me my opinion. What do you think about woo woo woo, the Drake, Kendrick, Cole? I'm like I want my three goats in unison. I want I want a three-headed goat, not a disunified goat. You know what I mean? I need my goats in unity and alignment. I don't want to see these guys beefing. And this is the thing. I mentioned it earlier. It ain't real beef. It's not real beef. Like if Kendrick saw Drake today, what do you think would happen? Are they gonna start squabbling? They're gonna start fighting. Like, what do you think is going to happen if Drake actually ran into uh Kendrick today? I'm just keeping it real, bro. I'm just keeping it real. So the whole beef thing, it's just I feel like this stuff is straight up blown out of proportion. Straight up blown out of proportion. It gets on my nerves a little bit, a lot of bit. But when I see people just like when it turns into this fan or stan war, I think that's like the corniest of the corny. It probably drives engagement for the artist because a diss like that from a big artist like Kendrick, it draws conversation. So I'm listening. I'm gonna listen to the new Future joint anyway. But before I even get a chance to listen to it, I see people already online talking about Kendrick going at Drake and J. Cole. And when I finally heard it, I'm like, first of all, he didn't diss J. Cole. All the shots went to Drake. But even then, like, I just thought it was friendly competition. Now, of course, Drake and Kendrick Lamar have a history of having, some words back and forth on their records, but it was never that deep. It was never that deep. So yeah, just like, you don't have to pick a side. I promise you, Drake, J. Cole, nor Kendrick is gonna drop a bag for you. They're not gonna give you a feature. You're not gonna get no Dreamville merch or some OVO merch. Like, you're not gonna get a handshake and a hug unless this truly makes you happy. If it truly makes you happy, then have at it. Have at it. That's all that I'll say. And I'm gonna keep it real. I didn't hear the J. Cole response yet. I've only seen like quotes of it online. Like I said, I was at work. I'm gonna listen to all this stuff when I hit the gym a little bit later. But just remember, like, it's not serious. It's not serious. And I feel like most people know that. It's probably a little bit more serious for Drake because it seems that he takes things a little bit more personal than other people. And check this out. I'll give Drake this. Drake did take Kendrick on tour a while ago. He had him on Take Care. He had him on the Buried Alive interlude. But at the end of the day, when you're at the top, like none of this stuff is serious. Drake ain't squabbling with Kendrick. It's just competition at this point. It's just competition. Nobody's fighting. Nobody's getting shot. This isn't going to turn into, what we had in the 90s, a East Coast West Coast thing. But in this state, it's like West Coast versus Canada. Like, it's just not going to happen. Get a life. You could probably say the same for me. Like, what are you doing? Like, talking to, probably zero viewers, but I got some stuff to get off my chest, and we're probably going to do this a little more often, by the way. If anybody sees this in the future, because I do not go live on YouTube, but I'm going to start doing that because going live is just, I don't have anything to edit. uh Doing these podcasts, it's a lot of editing, thumbnails, this and that. We're just going to be raw and uncut for the most part. When we go live, just get some things off our chest. That's one thing. So the first point is get a life. Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole, they don't know you. I saw a comment under something one time, and it said, just a reminder, you're not OTF, you're not 4PF, you're not 1017. Like, it was like a reminder that you do not have to cape for artists in comment sections and online. You do not have to slander. It's like, okay, you can't like NBA young boy and listen to Lil Durk. It's either this or that. None of them know you. And I'll tell you one thing. Check this out. If a lot of these street rappers weren't rappers and they're doing what they rap about, guess who's the victim? You. So when you're listening to these rappers and you're like, oh yeah, woo, 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 I don't rock with this rapper because he's beefing with that rapper, and woo, woo, and he's a street rapper, dog. That person he was talking about robbing in his lyrics and hitting licks is probably you. I'm just keeping it real. So before you, like, start worshiping rappers and stuff, just remember, if they weren't getting it out the rap game, they were probably going to be getting it off you. I'm just keeping it real. So that's one thing. Let me get off of that. Now, another thing that we gotta get to is this skinny jean slander. Now, I understand what's popular right now is cropped shirts and big pants. Now I love me a little crop shirt now. You know what I'm saying? And I really got it off of the people. Like I adopted that style from some of the people that you've seen on the podcast. Shout out to Pizzo. Shout out to Dev. My Castier shirt. Now, if you're new to the podcast, Pizzo has a clothing line called Castier. Dev has a clothing line called Zoom in Live. Both of these brothers have like cropped shirts that they create. Great shirts. But at the end of the day, and honestly, I feel like they were. I'm gonna just give it to them from my point of view. They were ahead of the curve because now everything comes out in like a cropped shirt. Like that is it's trendy now. But when you once again, skinny jeans and big pants ain't paying your bills either. You don't gotta go like I see stuff like, oh, skinny jeans are trash. Skinny jeans are trash. Oh, who wears skinny jeans? Oh, he's wearing skinny jeans. Now, because I'm somebody who lived through the skinny jean era when like the new boys came back, and when I say skinny jean era, I'm talking about 2000 late, yeah, let's just say 2011, 2010, 2011, and it lasted for I would say close to 10 years, man. Close to 10 years. They started getting faded out. But this is the thing with every trend, with every like fashion trend that goes on or whatever, like they die and come back. Like I have a series that I need to get back to called No Ideas Original, and I make it for music, but like this applies with fashion as well. And you may look at me with a hoodie and hat on and say, "Oh, he ain't no fashion dude." But I used to be into fashion on, I would say, a superficial level, but I was into it like for real. Like spending a lot of time, creating outfits and things like that. And I was a forum user. Nowadays, like Reddit is the big forum, but I was on a specific forum where there was a fashion section and I was learning, I was seeing people's fits, I was getting inspiration. And really, I credit a lot of trends to Kanye West. Nowadays, I don't think Kanye is setting the trends that everybody is wearing now. Just because Kanye is older and he's on a different type of vibe right now, like he's real different, and people still emulate his style, but he is not the dominant fashion force. And this is coming from an outsider. Now, a real fashion head might agree with me, a real fashion head might disagree with me. A real fashion head might say, well, Kanye was always influenced by X, Y, and Z, right? But getting back to my point is everything gets taken to extremes in fashion. So I remember, and I'm going to use Kanye West as an example. uh you can give Kid Cudi maybe some influence over Kanye's use of and I don't even like to say skinny jeans either, because there was a difference between skinny jeans and then just straight up tight jeans. Like nowadays, uh no Diddy, my thighs can't even fit into like a pair of skinny jeans, but the silhouette that a pair of slimmer cut jeans would create, especially around 10 years ago when I was like a lot thinner. I had more of a uh it was a very lean build. I was, tall, 5'11", 6 foot. I lost an inch. I'm really 5'11". Like I used to be 6 foot. I legit got shorter, so I'm 5'11". I'm just keeping it real. But if you see me on the street, I'm gonna tell you I'm six. But the silhouette that it created was aesthetically pleasing, I would say, in my opinion. Now, once something becomes a trend, then the fast fashion industry, like H&M, the Forever 21s, nowadays you have like the ASOS's, like, ASOS is the Uniqlo's, and I don't shop on Uniqlo like that, but it has blown up over time. And then they overdo it. So like the the skinny jeans turned into super skinny, and then extreme skinny, and then like you had like the pants with the distresses in it when distressed jeans became like a thing again, because distressed, ripped jeans, woo woo woo, that was before my time. But when I say it became a thing again, I'm talking about when I was in my, my teenage years to late teens to early 20s and woo woo, when it became a thing again. And I knew people, like I remember there was a dude in DC, and he would distress jeans and they would look good. The way that you would see like the rappers, he was distressing jeans for like Wale and stuff. He started getting clients off of his distressed jeans. So that was the way for a while, like the distressed jeans having like some nice rips and woo 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 in it. Then okay, you start seeing distressed jeans at H&M. Then you start seeing it at Forever 21. And it just looks so bad, like the manufactured distress and rips in it. Then you had like the stuff with like a huge rip in it, and it just looked bad. So once like the mainstream gets a hold of something that they see has become popular amongst the youth, the rappers, the celebrity, they completely destroy it. And I hate the term gatekeeping. I hate that it's a thing where people be like, oh, I'm gatekeeping this, I'm gatekeeping that. But in a sense, I get it. It's like, well, honestly, we won't get into the gatekeeping thing, because it's like, who do you think you are, unless you really have you're a celebrity or have like this huge influence? Who do you think you are to gatekeep? Music is one thing. Music is one thing, but like certain pieces and stuff like that, like I don't know, like I don't see, I don't know. You don't want some people got like little swagger jackers who will like straight up, jack somebody's style. We all get influence from each other, but like when I see people publicly say like they're gatekeeping, it's like, just don't mention it. If you're going to show something, just show it. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not like, super lit, super woo 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 woo. So I don't have a reason to gatekeep anything, and I'm not getting things that are super exclusive. If I have something exclusive, it's probably thrifted, and I'll tell you I got it thrifted. I'm not going to some super, hidden brand like this joint. If anybody see, if I see anybody wearing like this joint, this is Atticus Tory. I buy a lot of his clothes, a lot of his hats, and uh and I found him from a singer that I listen to. And I ain't gatekeeping now. If I see you wearing this, you got this from me. And if I know you and you're wearing this, I know you got it from me, because this is a if I didn't know this smaller artist who was like rocking this gear for a while, I wouldn't know who this is. And this artist hasn't even been releasing music, but through this artist, I found this brand. But like, back to the main subject, I was almost going to say before I got into my gatekeeping monologue was, I can understand why certain things are gatekeeped, but not all the way, because you don't want it to become too big. You don't want it to become oversaturated. Remember them pants, like jeans with the line down like the middle, not the middle, like on the inseam or whatever. Like those were a thing. Remember, like vintage tees became a thing again, and they're still a thing, but it's like when you see everybody else with it, it loses its individuality, you know? So it but let me before I completely lose the point, let me get back to the skinny jeans. My main point with saying all that crap was a pair of slim fitted jeans complements the silhouette of most people. Like, and I'm saying slim because I feel like when I say skinny, I just think of nowadays, when you think of skinny jeans, you just think of the overly tight pants where you can't breathe. Those were never nice. That was never the move. That was always trash. It was always weak. Like, unless you were a skater dude, because honestly, let's just keep it a buck. We associated, and when I say we, I'm just going to speak from my perspective as a young black youth back in school and stuff. We associated tight pants with the skaters. And then the New Boys came out, and then you had like Kid Cudi, and then it kind of took off from there, right? So when I see like skinny jeans and for that matter slim kind of be disrespected, it's like I'll see you in 10 years when the trend repeats itself. Now, if you're going to pick now for this one, if you're going to pick a side, stay there because like I said a little earlier, like I can't really fit just the way that jeans are cut these days, the way that uh things are designed. I can't really fit a pair of like slimmer jeans and stuff like that. But like it's not a bad look. And I've had this feeling for a while. Like I've always believed this when I would start seeing like skinny jean slander. I saw a reel the other day on Instagram, and it was a dude like rocking like some what you would call skinny jeans, not skin tight but skinny, and he said skinny jeans were never trash, y'all just follow trends. It's true. And I'm saying this for the people who know better. Now, if you truly believe that skinny jeans, slimmer jeans, there was always a regular fit, right? So I'm not talking about regular fit. I'm not talking about regular fit. I'm talking about slim and skinny. If you are one of those people who always felt like, no, you've been rocking regular fit all these years and you was never getting down with the slim jeans or skinny jeans and woo woo woo, cool. But like, I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy to just flat out say skinny jeans are trash because you know what's going to happen. And this is the thing, like hip hop runs this fashion stuff at the end of the day. Cardi got these dudes dressing in all sorts of gothic stuff. Y'all would clown. You know what I'm saying? Like Cardi could wear something that you probably would have clowned a week ago, but once he starts wearing it and you get used to it, it's like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. That's kind of opium. I don't know what young people say these days, but I'm not gonna violate something just because that's the wave. And I'm not calling anybody a follower. I'm just saying don't don't speak too soon because the influence is on the big the big pants. The wave is the big pants, the super big pants and all this. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with the big pants because like when I see people rocking it and rocking it right, like I give it to like I'll give it up. I give you its props. Like the look that people have created with them, with the crop shirts, with the big pants, with this and that. Like it looks good on many people. But to kind of just crap on something else, I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair. So I want to say that because I just want to make sure there's certain people who have always kind of been influenced by the masses. There's many people who do what's popular. Not that they are followers or people who give in to peer pressure, but if something is dominating a certain industry, you can probably tell that they're going to get on that wave. And my thing is like for those people who have always kind of been along, like what does Kwame Brown say, like go along, get along gang, you especially shouldn't be talking. Okay, because it's like in 10 years when it gets back to skinny jeans or whatever, you're gonna be rocking them and you're gonna be like, oh dude, why was we wearing big pants? Ooh. All right, so I'm gonna leave that alone. But that's one thing. One last thing is we're probably gonna do these live streams, if not weekly, maybe every other week or something like that. Right now, the Cool Hand podcast, we're restructuring some things in the sense that I'm just trying to get things in order here. We're going to be having some new content. I'm trying to just really organize the podcast. I have a lot of help from my wife, of course, and just so I can bring something new to the table. I've been doing this for since 2019, and if I'm going to keep doing it, I don't want to get completely stale. Now, we do have a little formula with this thing. We have our interviews, we have our music discussions, we have some real talk and all that stuff and life experiences. But just talking to different creators, one thing that this podcast has done is introduce me to people who do 10 times more than I do, and people who have experiences, who can offer advice to me. I've had off camera conversations with people who really encourage me to keep going and doing all of this because uh they like it and they believe in it. So if somebody else can believe in me, I guess I could believe in myself and take some other steps to, getting the podcast real, get it right. But that's it. That's live stream number one. Key takeaways: Kendrick don't know you. Drake don't know you. Cole don't know you. Shut up and enjoy the music. Two, stop disrespecting skinny jeans, bro. Stop disrespecting skinny jeans. That's it. Cool Hand live stream. Something you got to deal with. Easy.